Once in Chelm, well known as the city of the most wisest, intelligent, and good among the Jews, there was a boy called I do not actually know what was his name again. Do you? Do you remember?
It was at the time when electricity came into town. And so the little boy prayed to the Eternal. For the good spirit that should come along, he potted a walnut
On top of one of the electric construction boxes.
He took some sticks, which had been broken off by the wind,
some leaves,
and some of the grass that had been freshly cut for the goats so they could eat in wintertime.
Then he added some water liquid that he spilled meanwhile washing his hands,
Which was holding the pre-soil in the heat of the sun. The moisture in the pot would drive out the roots.
Of course, everybody in town knew what he was doing, so that during 2 weeks nobody touched or cleaned the pot away.
When 2 weeks had passed, and the roots had driven out, on a sunny day a light breeze carried the methane from the rotting grass out of the pot and onto the cable. The pot burst in a huge explosion and spit the knot half a mile into the air, where it stayed bound to a little cloud by the static charge it had taken on the explosion.
Nobody got hurt, and ever since there was a nut tree growing in the skies over Chelm. Once the people of Chelm tried visiting it with a balloon, but the static charge that kept the tree in the clouds displaced the balloon, so they could not have a closer look. But every fall, there was fruit falling from the heavens.
But every season of fall, there was fruit falling from the heavens.
The wise men of Chelm and the elders wasted years of discussion whether or not it was kosher to eat from. The wise men of Chelm and the elders wasted years of discussion whether or not it was kosher to eat from the fruit of the castle in the sky.
Sometimes the animals would do so, sometimes visitors, and sometimes hungry, as the only way to distinguish between the heavenly produce and the children nut trees underneath was that the majority of nuts from heaven had been breaking open from the fall. The electricity line was going through the little forest and lit the lamps of Chelm without ever encountering major needs of maintenance.
When there was the revolution in Russia, the Tsar went to visit the flying tree on his travels to the Vatican to ask for support. When the Tsar passed through the forest with his sword, the lightning struck the tree beside him. The rabbi in his company blessed the Lord that due to the power line underneath, they had survived and touched the electric bolt.
3 seconds later, the nut tree from half a mile above fell down onto the Tsar and decided therewith the revolution.
That was the end of the flying tree, and nobody dared to use the electric power line thereafter. As God was with Chelm, the revolution was, and so the troops to take revenge on the Tsar's death never arrived. Luckily, as God was with Chelm and its inhabitants, the revolution was. And the troops that would have come to take bloody revenge for their Tsar's death never, ever arrived.